And it is pretty surprising for me to say Royal Enfield is better than a Honda. I mean, this would not have been possible 10 years ago, but welcome back to my channel. I've just recently taken, I just recently taken the test drive of the Royal Enfield Classic 350, and you know, even though the Honda is faster, has better technology, the Royal Enfield Classic does surprise quite a few people, and people will be considering the Royal Enfield Classic over the Honda. And this is just my personal opinion, obviously, everyone has their own perspectives. But in layman terms, Royal Enfield has something that gives you a sense of feeling, something that gives you a sense of connection with the bike, which I feel Honda lacks that aspect to a large extent. That aspect, according to me, is character. And Royal Enfield is something that, say, a chicken that is marinated the entire night, the flavor just seeps in, and you cook the chicken and it tastes different, as opposed to, say, just get chicken, you cook it in, say, half an hour, you put masala on top for the flavor to set in, and then you serve it to the people. So you have two different dishes which technically are the same, but the Royal Enfield is the marinated chicken where you just it's flavor from within. Now, why am I talking about this is I'm specifically talking with reference to the thump, with reference to the feel the Royal Enfield gets. See, the thump that any long stroke engine provides is obviously much better than, say, the short stroke or medium stroke bikes. But the thing with Royal Enfield is it just feels the engine is producing that exhaust. Now, with reference to Honda, the engine just feels butter smooth, absolutely butter smooth. You don't feel anything, and you feel the exhaust note is aesthetically made by the exhaust. The exhaust is designed in such a way that the sound is made in the exhaust, and you don't feel like the note is designed in the engine. You don't feel that feeling from the engine. So this is what I feel. This is a major factor, differentiating factor between the Royal Enfield and the Honda. The second thing with reference to Royal Enfield is it just looks different and simultaneously the same. They've done an amazing job. See, the entire engine is different. It comes from the J platform. That means the chassis come from the J platform. That means basically the Meteor is being it's basically the chassis from the Meteor and the engine from the Meteor, but designed in such a way that the classic, the origins of the classic remains the same, but they have made these small changes where it looks different as well. It kind of looks better according to me. It finally gets a semi-digital console where you have a fuel gauge. Obviously, Royal Enfield being Royal Enfield, I wouldn't consider it to be 100% accurate, but it does get a fuel gauge, so points over there. It gets a USB slot, so points over there. I feel they could have put an LED headlight, but again, there's something that you can spend another 3,000 rupees and purchase aftermarket headlights. There are hundreds of headlights specifically for the Royal Enfield available in the market. So I don't think that's something people should cry about. And again, see, in a drag race, I've ridden the Honda as well. In the drag race, Honda's definitely faster. Honda having tall gear ratios will obviously have a slight edge on the highway as well. But it's not about how fast you go from point A to point B, it's the feel you get going from point A to point B. That's where the Royal Enfield comes in again. I'm not talking of the exhaust now, I'm talking with reference to how the engine behaves. See, Royal Enfield has torque right from bottom, and the gear ratio is also pretty accurate actually. It isn't too tall, it isn't too short. Honda's gear ratios are way too tall, so you got to work on the clutch and the gear every time you want to overtake. In with reference to Royal Enfield, you can practically be on one gear almost the entire day and just tuck tuck go along the entire day, and you won't feel a strain. So see, this is where the Honda has a slight advantage is it's got a slipper assist clutch, So it is lighter, definitely, but you got to use it every time, and that kind of becomes irritating. You got to downshift every time you want to overtake in traffic. That kind of gets irritating. The fifth gear is practically impossible to use in city because anything below 70 and the engine will start knocking. Royal Enfield, you put slotted in fifth, right from 50 kilometers, the engine will just take you. I'm assuming since it's J platform engine, I'm assuming it should reach 120, 125 easily, which again is commendable for Royal Enfield standards at least. Not for any other standards, but at least for Royal Enfield standards, 120, 125, I think it should reach, which kind of comes close to the Honda Higness's top speed. So, with reference to engine feel, also, again, theoretically, the Honda has a definite edge, but with all the edge and the technology Honda has, if you don't have that feeling, it really doesn't matter. So, I mean, whatever people may say theoretically on YouTube, there are 10,000 influencers or wannabe influencers or upcoming influencers. The only way you can differentiate between a Japanese made bike and a bike that has British heritage and is being built in India, especially with reference to these two bikes, is you actually go there, you take a test ride, and you'll immediately notice the difference. Obviously, there are people routing for Honda as well, because by no means it's a bad bike, but I just feel that you need to feel connected, and I personally felt connected with the Classic in a far better sense as opposed to Honda. I'm not mentioning about the technicals because that's available on YouTube, so I wouldn't want to bore you on that aspect. But with reference to power, with reference to torque, they come pretty close to each other, so there isn't much to choose over there either. And ultimately, obviously, the decision is yours. It's these two bikes are no means cheap. They hover around the 2 lakh mark. The base classic is priced slightly cheaper because it comes with a drum brake, and as you go up, it's slightly more expensive than the Highness. But everyone has their own advantages. I especially like the trip meter that Classic has placed in Royal Enfield in the 350. So that also is it's nice. I mean, little technology in Royal Enfield, not bad. And that's about it. So according to me, I feel the Classic is a much better choice, hands down. And it is pretty surprising for me to say Royal Enfield is better than a Honda. I mean, this would not have been possible 10 years ago, but Royal Enfield, Eicher Motors, they have done something right this time, and I feel now all the Enfields have got reliable engines. The Classic was the only one that had the previous generation engine, which, according to me, was outdated with reference to power, with reference to everything. Now that they've got the Classic has got the J platform, the Classic is going to be reliable. The Meteor has the J platform, that's reliable. Royal Enfield Himalayan, as long as the chassis doesn't split in half, that bike is reliable to a large extent. And then comes the Interceptor, which had blown everyone away with reference to the 650 reliable engine, and that is reliable. So as of today, surprisingly, Royal Enfield has reliable engines as well as has the look. So I feel it's the last piece in the Royal Enfield puzzle that was required to be placed, and this is my opinion now. That's about it. So unfortunately, no, I don't have these. I don't have camera equipment to record these things outside besides the bike, because I don't have wind cancellation mechanism. So just if you're wondering why am I doing it at my place, this is why. But I don't know, hopefully if my channel does pick up eventually, I wouldn't mind investing. So this is about it. Do let me know your views, and I look forward for seeing you in my next video. Thank you.